Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back for another edition of Inside the Den. Excited to get you caught up today. Got a big show for you as the first two champions of the ACCC and Region 22 will be crowned this week, and two teams from Wallace State competing for that crown for those two championships. So excited for that. Those would be the first two of 9 Wallace State sports that will compete for championships during the spring semester. So excited to get you caught up on that. That will be men's and women's basketball as that tournament starts March 12th, 2026. It'll be at Talladega, Alabama. We'll get you caught up on all of that, get you a preview of that. We also get a visit with Joseph Simmons, our women's basketball coach, as his team currently sits at 29-1 on the year and is one of the favorites to win that Region 22 tournament. So we'll catch up with him and get you caught up on all the action that has happened this week and what else you can expect from Wallace State Athletics other than that, just that tournament. So excited to get you into it and get started for the day. Let's get into it. All right, first, before anything else, let's get you all the information that you need on the ACCC championships taking place this week at Talladega College in Talladega, Alabama, March 12th through the 14th. Our women, as we mentioned, enter as the co-regular season champion with Shelton State, with seeding determined by a coin toss. No way to break the tie. Both teams at 12-1, split with each other, and no way to break the tie other than a coin flip. So very, very, very close race between those two, and expected as those two are expected to meet in the championship game if seeds hold. But there's some other teams competing that will have try to have something to say about that. Gadsden State finished 4th in the league. Bishop State finished 5th. They will play each other on Thursday at noon for the right to take on Shelton State in the semifinals. For our Lion fans, the game to watch Thursday at 2 o'clock Central Time, Calhoun will play Lawson State. Calhoun finishing 6th and making the tournament. Lawson State finishing a distant 3rd behind Wallace and Shelton, but also good teams nonetheless. So Thursday, 2 o'clock Central Time, that game will take place. The winner gets your Lady Lions on Friday at 2 o'clock. So semifinals in the women's tournament, again, Shelton State, Friday, March 13th. Shelton State versus the winner of Bishop and Gadsden at 12. Wallace State versus the winner of Calhoun Lawson at 2 o'clock. And then the championship game winners from the semifinals will advance to the championship game on Saturday, March 14th at 1 o'clock Central Time. All these games streamed on Jock Job Sports Network at jockjob.com. So be sure to get over there and check that out. All right. Men's tournament action also taking place at Talladega College in Talladega, Alabama. It will get kicked off on Thursday, March 12th at 4 o'clock. Your Lions in that game in the 4-5 matchup. Your Lions lost a heartbreaker in the regular season finale to fall into a tie for 4th place. So they will take on Calhoun in the 4 o'clock game on Thursday, March 12th, for the right to play Shelton State in the semifinals. Following our men on Thursday at 6 o'clock, Southern Union, finishing 6th and making the tournament, will take on Gadsden State, who finished 3rd as well. Winner of that will take on Bishop State, again, Friday, 6 p.m. for that one. Semifinal games, again, Friday, 4 p.m., Shelton State versus, hopefully, your Wallace State Lions, and Bishop State versus the winner of Southern Union Calhoun. Those games at 4 and 6 p.m. on Friday, March 13th. Then the ultimate championship game of Region 22 in the ACCC will take place Saturday at 3:30 3:30 Central Time at Talladega College between the winners from the semifinals. So, again, those games all stream. Come to them. We'll put the links on the screen for tickets and other information to watch. Get on jockjive.com if you can't make it to Talladega to see those games. Look forward to seeing you there. Lots of action-packed basketball at Talladega College, and a bid to the national tournament on the line for both the men's and the women's. So sure to be exciting basketball. Make sure you check that out this week at Talladega College. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Voices of the Pride segment. Here today with Coach Joseph Simmons, head coach of the currently 29-1 and 16th ranked Wallace State women's basketball team as they get ready and prepare for the Region 22 and ACCC tournament this week. Entering the tournament as one of the, I guess, co-favorites, we'll call it, with Shelton State, and excited to visit with him. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Before we get into kind of last year's or this year's tournament, you guys are also, I don't think I mentioned, defending tournament champions, won the tournament last year. Talk about last year was a good year, really good year. All 5 games, 11-3 in conference play, but kind of entered the tournament in a little different mindset last year as an underdog. So kind of talk us through a little bit of that tournament run last year and kind of your team's thought process going into that, and then we'll compare it to this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year, obviously, it was year one, and a lot of those players, matter of fact, all of them had been signed before I got the job. And so, our assistant last year, Tony West, did a great job of signing those kids. They had 4 returners from the previous year who'd gotten beaten in the championship game and had a chance to win at the buzzer, missed a 3 at the buzzer. So, we had some good incoming freshmen, and we also had some good leadership back from the previous year. And so, yeah, it was a growing process, learning. They had to learn me, a new system. I had to learn them and what they could and couldn't do. And so throughout the year, I thought it went really well. We learned a lot. Obviously took a few losses, 11-3 in the league, lost both times to Shelton, and then lost on the road at Bishop. And so I thought every game we learned something new about ourselves and where we needed to improve if we wanted to get to where we wanted to get to. And so I thought the 2 games, especially against Shelton, taught us a lot. I thought the first time we played them last year, it just proved we weren't tough enough. We weren't ready for that level yet. And so our girls continue to battle day in, day out to develop that toughness that we knew we would need. And then when we went to their place, I thought we did some better things than we did the first time around, and still lost, but I thought there were a lot more positive signs after that second meeting. And then going into the tournament, it's survive and advance. And, Calhoun gave us a battle in the semifinals. We won both games in the 40s in the conference tournament. I don't know if anybody else in the country could say that. And nobody's holding the ball. It's just a knockdown, drag out, physical, not many secrets. Know each other very well. And so, at that point, it was just survive and advance and get to the championship game. And, of course, it pitted us in Shelton State. And they had a big, long streak going on at the time that everybody wanted to remind us about. But we just focused on us and what we knew we needed to do if we were going to win. We knew we didn't have to be perfect, but we knew we had to play a pretty solid game. And we came out and got down 23-8 in the second quarter with 8.5 minutes to go. Not a good feeling for sure, but I never saw panic in their eyes. And so that allowed me to just realize, hey, let's stay calm, stay the course, stay the process. And by the end of the half, we had come back and tied it. And so, you go into halftime 0-0 basically. It's a new ball game. And so I thought our girls continued to fight and battle and just made enough plays to win it, and to hold them 40 points below their average was remarkable. And then obviously the opportunity to get to go to the national tournament in Wyoming and win a game out there and compete against the team that ultimately won it all showed us kind of where we're at as a program, what kind of players we need to bring in here, and what we've got to keep doing to strive to not just win championships in Alabama, but to also try to compete on a national level.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously flip that into this year and an unbelievable non-conference record, go undefeated through the non-conference, 29-1 overall. I think the number is now 12-1 in a dead heat tie with Shelton, so much so that there was no way to break the tie for seeding, share the conference title. They won here, a 2-point game with a little bit of controversy at the end, and then we go there, win, I believe, in a 2-point game. Might have been identical scores. Yeah, identical scores, just flipped around. And so no way to break the tie in that deal for seeding other than a coin flip. So kind of entering the tournament this year in a little bit different frame of mind. Kind of like I said, co-favorites. I think, if Vegas had lines, it's probably, maybe they're a little bit ahead of us, just national rankings and things like that. But with co-favorites, definitely. So going in there expecting to win. Talk about your team's mindset, after the year that you've had and really needing to finish it off. We'll get to the national tournament stuff, but really to feel real comfortable, on Sunday, really needing to finish this thing off with 2 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. This year, obviously a totally different team. Last year we had 9 freshmen. This year, we've got 2 high school kids. And so we've got a lot of kids returning from last year, and then we brought in some transfers to go with them. And so it's been a learning experience for them coming into our program. Like we tell all of our recruits, you become us, we don't become you. And so they've done a good job of buying in. I feel like we got great kids. I think you win with people. And so they're obviously good players as well. But it's the kind of kids that you come to work and enjoy being around them, and you trust that they're going to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're doing their job in the classroom, had a 3.71 team GPA. They're doing their job at practice, in the weight room, off the court. And so it's just a great group. When there's a lot of trust and respect on both sides, I think the success comes. But just a great group of hard workers that just want to win. And at the end of the day, everybody's goal when they come to JUCO is to try to get recruited to a bigger and better school. And so obviously they've bought into, we've got to win. Got to win a lot. Got to win at a high level. And so going into this postseason, 29-1, 13-1 in the conference, having to do the coin flip, obviously being co-champs in the regular season, that's a big deal. I don't know if anybody can say that they've done that in a while. Shelton's kind of had a hold on this league for a long time, and rightfully so. I mean, Madonna has done a great job. That Shelton State program has been the gold standard for a while.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to make sure that we can get up there and prove that Alabama JUCO is more than just one team. And there's some good basketball. There's some good coaches. There's some good players. And so we're just trying to take care of us and control what we can control. But going into the tournament, we've got to play the winner of Calhoun and Lawson, two teams that we just played recently. And we talked about it yesterday in practice. Everybody's 0-0 at this point, so you can throw the records out the window. When people are fighting for their life in the postseason, anything can happen, and I think that's why it's called March Madness. So we've got to make sure we take it one game at a time. Obviously, us and Shelton being at the top, I know a lot of people are going to talk about that, anticipate that, but as Nick Saban would say, that's rat poison, and we try to not focus on that. But at the end of the day, our goal is ultimately to get to the national tournament. And we know if you can win our conference tournament, you get that automatic bid. And you don't leave it to chance. You don't leave it to the committee for an at-large berth or anything like that. And so we just got to control what we can control. And, we've been fortunate. Obviously, we got good players, good kids, but we've stayed fairly healthy all season and not had really any off-the-court issues to deal with. And knock on wood. And so, to have a championship type of season, you got to have a lot of things go your way. And so hopefully we can keep this going. It's a fun group to be around. I'd like to coach them for the rest of the month.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, kind of update everybody where that stuff sits. Like, obviously you mentioned the winner of our league, winner of the tournament and Region 22. Gets an automatic qualification into the national tournament, which is in Lake Charles, Louisiana this year for women's basketball.
State,
yeah, at McNeese State, which is a beautiful arena, beautiful place. So really cool. And there's about 16 or 18 automatic qualifications. There's 16. There's 8 at-large bids throughout the country. And we think we're in a position that being 29-1, being 16th ranked, having a obviously unblemished and a win at Shelton, who's currently fifth. Yeah, fifth if they didn't change.
They were number 4 when we beat.
Yeah, number 4. Yeah, but at the currently 5th ranked team in the country, and having those wins on our resume, we think and we're hopeful that regardless of result in conference tournament that we'll be able to get to that national tournament anyway. But just so people kind of understand how that goes, kind of tell us your conversations with, because I know in junior college there's a lot of there's not games aren't on the ESPN, games aren't out there for people to watch the way they are at some other levels. So there's a lot of conversations. So kind of tell us your conversations that you've had with those people on those committees about our chances at Lake Charles.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've talked to our commissioner, Dean Myrick, and he's really pushing for us in Shelton, no matter who wins, to both be in the tournament. And I've had the privilege of getting to serve on the coaches committee this year since we won the region tournament last year. And so that opened my eyes up a lot to the rest of the country, because every region is represented in that poll. And now it's different than the national poll, but at the same time, you're getting insight into every region. And so obviously everybody knows about the Florida leagues and the Texas leagues and Kansas. But Arizona, right now I believe the number 1 team in the country right now is Eastern Arizona. And number 2 is a team out of Kansas, Butler. And then Northwest Florida State, the defending champs, out of Florida, are 3rd. So, it's just, Walter State out of Tennessee, they've kind of ran that league for years, kind of like Shelton has here in Alabama. And so, they're obviously the odds-on favorite to come out of Tennessee. But like you said, with 16 teams automatically qualifying, those 8 at-large berths are, they're up for grabs. And a lot of times those Texas and Florida schools and then maybe even 1 or 2 out of Kansas they'll eat up some of those.
Yeah.
So you kind of run out of spots. And so you're just fighting for position throughout the year. And, with us being number 16th ranked in the country, and having to win over a top 5 team in the country on the road, I think that speaks volumes for us. Having the number 1 defense in the country the last 2 seasons. I think the fact that we went to the national tournament last year and won a game proved, and never really received a vote all season last year in the polls, and went out there as a 19 seed and upset the 14 seed. And so we were the highest seed in the Sweet 16. So I think that proved that, we could be pretty solid and compete out there. And so obviously, we've got to take care of first things first in the conference tournament. We got to take care of Calhoun or Lawson, and let all that stuff worry about itself. But we just continue to control our own destiny, and that's a good position to be in, as we can control our outcome for the season. And then hopefully we don't have to worry about that and put it in the hands of the committee.
No doubt. And I know that's, as a coach, that's what you always want to do. Just take it out of, don't put your fate in other people's hands. We've got it in our control now. Let's go take care of business, and don't let them keep you out. Don't let them have an excuse to keep you out, right?
Yep.
A little bit more time here before we let you go. Hadn't had a chance to be on the podcast, so we've kind of got that. So kind of tell us, I know you've got some history with Wallace, and you left for a while, and you've come back now. So kind of walk us through your history and kind of how you ended up, just a little bit, just a quick version of your history and how you ended up here at Wallace State.
Yeah, I was back here from 06 to 10 the first time, with Coach Sharp. The first time he was here as his assistant men's coach. I was had been a head high school coach for 2 years and just was trying to work my way up, because I obviously didn't have any kids at the time. And so my wife and I got married and moved down here and started that journey. And Dr. Karlowitz was here. And so, a lot of the same people that were here back then, 15, 20 years ago, are still here, and which is pretty cool. But after we left in 2010, after going to the national tournament, I made the switch to coaching girls and switched to high school. And we had our oldest child. I got 2 daughters now. And so just wanted to take a break from the college scene and not be on the road all the time, so I could not miss her growing up.
Yeah.
So had never dreamed of coaching girls, but I got to play for my dad growing up in Arkansas. And so I thought it would be neat if, when she got older, if she wanted to play, if I could coach her. So we made the switch and moved to Kentucky, where my wife's from, and was there for 7 years at Marshall County. And then after 7 years, decided to make a move to Nashville, Tennessee, and coached 7 years of high school there. And this came back open again. And, obviously with Dr. Karlowitz being here, that was a big selling point of being interested. Obviously, I think it's the best facilities in the country. In junior college, it's a lot nicer than some 4-year schools. So, we loved our 4 years that we were here a long time ago. My wife and I did. She really was the big one pushing me to put in for it. And so that meant a lot, knowing that she valued our time that we had here and the friendships we had made. And so it's been a seamless transition for us getting back. Obviously Coleman's a lot bigger now than it was in 2010. And so, but being able to see the same people that you saw 15, 20 years ago and see where they've come along, and for them to get to see our family now that we're back. And so just to rekindle some of those friendships and everything. But, I always loved the Alabama JUCO system when I was here before, obviously on the men's side, but I always had some good battles. There was good coaches. It's been good to get to see some of those. Some of those people have hung it up and retired, but you'll still see them hanging around at ball games.
Yeah.
And then obviously I remember as an assistant, I remember Madonna getting that program going at Shelton and having that run. And so to be able to come back and compete against her, which I think she's one of the best coaches in the country, not just our state. I think it makes me a better coach. It makes me want to work harder and put our kids in a position to be successful when you get to go up against somebody like that. And then to go to these jamborees the last couple of years and start seeing some of these teams that are nationally ranked, that are in the conversation for national championships. And this past year, we've gotten to go and play against some of those teams and compete and beat some of them. And so it lets us know that we're on the right track. We got to keep getting the right kind of people in our program. But being back year 2, this is year 22 overall, year 18 as a head coach. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but Wallace State right now. And with junior college, with the way the transfer portal is at the 4-year level, I think junior college is the best option for a lot of high school kids. So I think we benefit from that. The kids that do their homework and understand, unless you're just a blue chip player, it's really hard to get on the floor at the 4-year college level as a high school kid.
Yeah.
When you're dealing, they can go out there and get a 23, 24-year-old. So, So I love the JUCO scene. I love my time in high school, but I also love the JUCO thing because I feel like there's still teaching involved. There's still fundamentals and development, and you're trying to help kids continue to chase their dream. And so to me, that's the fun part about junior college. But the flexibility you have as a coach at the junior college level, you're not tied to a calendar like you are at the 4-year level. So that was intriguing to me as well. And like I said, our family loves the Coleman County area, and having an administration here at Wallace State that supports athletics like they do. Our facilities are second to none. You always walk around campus, you're seeing improvement everywhere.
Yeah.
In every department. New buildings going up, renovations going on, and so it's a special place to be. And I think the kids that come here remember their time here in a good way, and we just got to continue to bring in the best players and the best people we can, so we can continue to keep this program at the top. And I don't think it's a coincidence when Dr. Karlowitz expects winning, that every program here wins at a high level. And so I think it starts from the top, and that's a big selling point too to coach here at Wallace, as I feel like the alignment of the administration just trickles down to the coaches and the players and the athletes and to the campus. And so I think that's why Wallace is well known and respected across the state, but across the country as well.
Yeah.
Special place to be, but glad to be back.
Yeah, no doubt. It definitely is, and certainly happy to have you here, doing a great job. So look forward to having you. Thanks for your time.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep. That's your look ahead into what's coming next for Wallace State Athletics. Again, we hope you're keeping track and coming back to see us, as the spring is a busy season for athletics. We hope you'll be back next week. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on Spotify and YouTube so you never miss one of these episodes. Also, be sure to follow all of our social media accounts so that you never miss schedule updates, as the spring weather and the outdoor sports often necessitate schedule changes, so you'll want to be following all that along so you never miss an event with our teams. Again, thanks for being here, and until next time, go Lions.